Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Afro Gardener. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that I did here recently. So about a month ago, I purchased 250 red wiggler worms. I wanted to try my hand at vermicomposting. And I just really feel like the benefits of worm castings would be really beneficial for my garden and really set me up to be in a better soil situation next year. This year I feel like I spent a lot of money on soil and amendments and things like that, so I really wanted to try to do this to mitigate some of that, try to alleviate some of that cost. I purchased my worms from Uncle Jim's Worm Farm, and I'll link their website below. I got them super fast. Like, I ordered them on a Friday and they were here on Tuesday. I did not anticipate them being delivered that fast. Sometimes I don't check my email, and so I was not prepared for them whenever they came. I hadn't gotten to the store to go get the bin and all that, so whenever they got here, my husband was already out, so I was like, while you're out, can you get me a bin? Because I wasn't ready. And so they got here, and I followed the instructions on whenever you first get them, and I put them in the container, and I'm going to show you how I have it set up now. I had it set up the same way when I first set it up. However, I was always going to keep them outside, but the day that I got them and put them outside, it rained and they got wet and the bin got flooded a little bit. And so usually if there's too much water or the conditions are just not favorable for the worms to be there, they'll leave. So that's what they were doing. When I got to the bin, they had started leaving. There was worms. It was worms everywhere. They were on the sides, the bottom, the top. They were just trying to leave because they didn't want to drown. So I ended up getting them all. I think it took me like an hour, about 30 minutes to really get all the worms back together and back inside. I had to rinse out and clean the container and just get it back to a state where they could live in. So I did all that, and we had some really crazy weather as far as rain, cold, so I just kept them in the house. And they've been in the house for the past month, and I believe that's when we're going to keep them. My kids have not messed with them, which is crazy because they mess with everything, and they have not bothered them. And because I told them that our friends are living here and to not mess with them, and so they've left them alone. And I have it over here for us to look at, to kind of show you how I have it set up. And I just kind of want to show you guys and tell you guys about it so y'all don't make the same mistakes that I did. So let's go take a look at it right now. So what I did is I went out and I bought two 18-gallon containers. They're just regular containers that with the lid. I only needed one lid, so I just put it somewhere. Now this is the container that my worms are actually in. This container is what they're sitting on top of, and I just put this bin inside of this one on top of these wooden blocks. I have these wooden blocks there to create so it's not just flat, and I have holes drilled into the bottom of this one. I drilled a bunch of holes in the bottom of this bin so waste and water can just drip out of this into here. I hope that makes sense, because my worms are actually in here, and I open it up. You don't see any worms. What you do see there is shredded paper. I did purchase the extra bedding, and it's just peat moss, and I did a layer of shredded paper, I did a layer of bedding, a layer of shredded paper, a layer of bedding, and I made probably 4 layers. And they're at the very bottom. I'll show you in just a minute. But I'm, for the most part, keep this. I don't bother it. I don't bother them unless I'm putting food in here. and I feed them every Tuesday. They can eat probably like 5 times their weight in food every week. And whenever I first had this, there was like some mold developing on the side, which is okay. It's okay because that's the process, the breaking down process. I don't know if y'all can see this little one, but he's there at the side getting his food. And I, for the most part, just leave them alone. I don't go through here and dig around and bother them. They're all at the bottom. They're at the very bottom of this. And so I don't bother them. I feed them once a week. And just like I'm about to do, I put the top on. That's basically my setup. Nothing super special. I know that some people have had issues with them trying to crawl out and all that type of stuff, because I just have a regular container. I haven't lost any more worms. I haven't lost any more. I look around the area on the floor where it is, and I haven't seen any babies on the floor. I haven't seen anything like that. And but I do watch for that. I haven't had any issues with them trying to leave or anything else. And I think it's probably because the conditions are favorable. I'll probably add an extra layer of shredded paper or cardboard. They really like shredded paper and cardboard. So I might add an extra layer. And it's very moisture. I don't know if y'all could tell, but there's like beads of moisture. It's moisture in there. It's not dry. So it's probably, and then I keep it in the house. So it's probably really good conditions, and that's why they're not leaving and they're staying. And so that's basically it. I only purchased 250 because I didn't really know if, I wasn't really sure if I would need more than that to start off with. I just really wanted to start off with the 250. I know some people start out with 5. I was just like, I didn't know, so I just went with 250. And it doesn't smell. It doesn't stink. It really just has a really earthy smell. It does not stink at all. It just kind of smells like earth, which I think is a good thing. I smell around it just to kind of make sure that it's okay, but I pretty much only open it whenever I'm going to feed them. And so that's basically it. They seem really happy. They're getting pretty big. I'm not sure if there are any babies in there. I'm hoping that there's some babies in there, but I'm not really sure. But I'm just going to keep watching. And I know that the turnaround for getting actual worm castings isn't going to be like in a week. I knew that investing in this was going to be a time process, but that's the life of a gardener. Nothing that you do as a gardener, you're going to see the fruit of it like the next day. It's all a process. And I was okay with this process. So, you know, they're our little friends. I'm excited. I like having them. I know they're not like real pets, but to my kids, they are. They're just pets that you can't really mess with right now, but they know that they're there. And so for the most part, just leave them alone. I hope you got something out of this video. If you have any questions or if you have any tips for me on how to keep my worms, leave me a comment. If you have a comment, leave me a comment. If you just want to chit chat, leave me a comment. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.